Cash flow analysis, direct and indirect method. Generally, cash flow analysis is of two types, or we can say cash flow analysis is done by using two methods. One is your direct method, another is your indirect method. So जनरली क्या होता है कि कैश फ्लो एनालिसिस हेल्प्स इन बिजनेस टू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ कैश इज मूविंग in and out of their operation. How cash is moving into the transaction or into the operation or out from the operations. It is generally presented in the cash flow statement, which consists the cash flow statement generally consists of three sections, or we can say the cash flow statement is prepared using three activities. One is your operating activities, second is your investing activities, and third is your financing activities. First activities, that is your operating activities. In these activities, the core business operations are performed. Core business operations are performed in operating activities of the cash flow statement. Buying and selling assets in investing activities of the cash flow statement. Finance activities, borrowing, repaying debits, issuing shares are work performed in financing activities. These are the three categories or three activities performed in cash flow statement. Now, for operating activity, there are two ways to present cash flow. कैश फ्लो को प्रेजेंट करने का तरीका एक होता है डायरेक्ट मेथड एंड अनदर इनडायरेक्ट मेथड. इनडायरेक्ट मेथड, द मेथड presents cash receipts and payment from operating activities directly. The cash received or payment from operating activities is directly showing where cash is coming and what are the lines is show in direct method, where cash is coming and where is going. They are the procedure how to represent the cash flow statement in by using direct method. There are 5 steps. First step is list cash received from customer. List cash received from customer. What are the cash received from customer? I will collect. Then this cash collected from sales, either from sales or from service. This cash include collected from your sales or your service. These are the list cash received from customer. Then subtract cash payment to suppliers. Payment made for raw materials और गुड्स और सर्विस. जो भी हम सप्लायर को जो पेमेंट जितने भी देने के लिए था उसको जो पेमेंट दे दिया उसको सब्ट्रैक्ट कर देना. देन सब्ट्रैक्ट कैश पेमेंट टू एम्प्लॉय. एम्प्लॉय का क्या होता है? सैलरी एंड वेजेस पेड इन कैश, जहाँ हम कैश देते थे. सब्ट्रैक्ट अदर कैश पेमेंट्स. अदर कैश पेमेंट्स जो भी हो रहा है हम सब्ट्रैक्ट करेंगे, जैसे कि रेंट्स, टैक्स, to be paid, government and other operational expenses. Calculate net cash flow from operating activities. हम कैलकुलेट करेंगे कि ऑपरेटिंग एक्टिविटीज़ में कितना कैश फ्लो है टोटल. For example of direct method operating activity sections. Cash flow operating activities. Cash received from customer 500 into 1000, or I can say 5 lakhs. How we calculate net cash flow from operating activities? Total cash inflow जहाँ भी आसीची एंड जेतिकी आउटफ्लो होइछि, जेतिकी सप्लाई को देइछे, एम्प्लॉय को देइछे किंबा अदर expenses will subtract from inflow, cash inflow. These are the examples of direct method of operating activity sections. Cash received from customer is 5 lakh. Cash paid to supplier 2 lakhs. Cash paid to employee 1 lakh. Rent, utility and other expenses is total 50,000. Then what is inflow? Cash received from customer, that is inflow. What is outflow? Cash paid to supplier, outflow. Cash paid to employee, outflow. Rent, utility and other expenses are to be considered as outflow. Then the net cash flow from operating activities you will discard or minus 2 from inflow minus outflow, that is 150,000. Then indirect method starts the net income from the income statement, net income from the income statement and adjust it for non-cash transaction and changes in work capital. The indirect method starts from net income and from the income statement and adjust for non-cash transaction and what are the changes in working capital. Procedure for the indirect method: start with net income. Take net profit from the income statement. Then add non-cash expenses, depreciation, amortization, etc. These do not affect cash. These are the cost that does not affect your cash. Adjust for changes in working capital. Increase in current assets except cash. Subtract. Example: more accounts receivable means less cash collected. Decrease in current assets. Add lower inventory means more cash available. Decrease in current assets. Add lower inventory means more cash available. Increasing current liability adds higher accounts payable means cash was saved. Decrease in current liability. Subtract. Example: paying creditors reduces cash. Calculate net cash flow from operating activities. These are the example of indirect methods. Net income 130,000. Depreciation cost 30,000. Increasing in accounts payable 10,000. Increasing in accounts receivable 20,000. Less decrease in inventory 10,000.